After tonight, there are just 2 races left to win the DNQ championship for any series that you're racing in, but tonight they have to make the road through the HARTZ HVAC night high side track prep here at the Millbridge Speedway. It is always an exciting event when we prep the high side of the racetrack. These drivers will be a lot closer to the wall than they want to be. Tyson Freezer, DNQ HARTZ HVAC Cup Series points leader, hoping to have a good night. And the greatest of all time is back, Jamie Knopf, chasing that money from starting from the back. CJ Winslow and Ryan Richmond talking to Patrick Donahue, another couple of the clone drivers looking to get their first win of the season tonight. The high line is ready to go, but let's go down and talk to CJ Winslow, who's down there with Eddie. Well, I'm down here with CJ Winslow and his son Charlie. CJ, in the Heavy Cup Series and the Cup Series, you guys have been chasing Caleb Clenard. Is tonight the night somebody finally beats him?
I hope so. I feel like I have a little bit better advantage when we run the top. Being able to keep the momentum was pretty big. So I don't know. Well, I hope so. I sure would like to knock him off the horse, you know.
So how about this competition in the Heavy Cup Series? We've got plenty of guys out here racing on a normal basis, and it seems like David Mayo, Ryan Richmond, all you guys have been really close together. Just got to get that one more spot better.
Yeah, and it is. The competition is pretty, I mean, it's pretty tough between the 4 of us. I mean, Caleb's really fast just about every time we come out here. But, yeah, it's a battle for second, which sucks. But, I don't know, it's something you kind of deal with. But, yeah, Mayo's fast, Turbo, Ryan's really fast. So, let's keep it together. Just beat those 2. I'll be really happy.
CJ Winslow hopes to get his first Heavy Cup Series win of the season. Well, good luck to CJ Winslow. Let's welcome in JZ. JZ, we're talking about the high line tonight, and that line has moved up quite a bit.
It has, and the best part is the drivers ask for this setup. This is one of the most exciting layouts of the year that we run. The drivers love it, and HVAC picked a hell of a night to sponsor. It's going to be a great show.
Let's go down and talk to Josh Altus, who last ran the Intercourse. This time he was in DNQ competition at the Intercourse. Josh, a little different here tonight. You got to be a little bit disciplined. You're running the high side tonight, so have you ever run the high side of this racetrack before?
Yeah, I think we came out here last year and ran the high side. It was a lot of fun, so I like ripping the fence for sure. So it should be fun tonight. First time running the oval here for this year, but really looking forward to it. Got Joey Gase back, crew chief, and me. Got my dad here. My dad had a heart attack a couple months ago, so great to see him doing well, and he's kind of back at it and helping me. So gonna be a fun night.
So what is it? Who can you credit? Because when you come out here and you race, you're always competitive, and you don't race all the time. So who's the credit for that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just naturally competitive for one. I raced karts growing up with my dad and everything, and then when you're around Spencer Boyd and guys like that all the time, everything's a competition. So try to learn from those guys and just come out here and have some fun.
Josh Altus, everything's a competition with him, and tonight is no different. He looks to take home a win in the DNQ ARCA and maybe Busch event here tonight at the high side of the track. Well, good luck to Josh Altus, and the man that's on a mission there is Caleb Clenard. He has been hot lately.
Caleb's been great. He's been kicking ass in his own prep. Let's see what he can do tonight on the high line, Bob.
Yeah, these Heavy Cup drivers are going out to practice, but let's talk to a Busch and ARCA driver who are sharing a seat tonight, which is always dangerous at this Highline racetrack. We're down here at the 67 machine, and this is a ride that is shared through the ARCA and Busch Series between Adam Wilcox and Dylan Teasley. Dylan, let me ask you a question real quick. If you destroy this thing, what happens to his ride for the night? Is he done?
Yeah, he's done. And then I have to pay for it.
So he's putting a lot of faith in you tonight. And we've seen you go out there and race in ARCA Series competition. You have not raced in mostly anything until you came here, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
So is Tyler Young your driver coach?
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far.
So what's it like driving this thing and knowing somebody's getting in it after you? Do you take it a little bit easier as you're out there racing?
Yeah, a little bit. Just trying to have fun. That's about it.
All right, we'll go over to Adam here. I think he'll talk to us a little bit more. So, are you crazy putting Teasley in this thing or what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to let him have fun. He wanted to race it. Everybody at the shop said put Dylan in it, so we gave him a shot.
Have you ever seen Dylan run iRacing before?
He used to run the simulator up in the break room, and he was pretty good, I'd say. So we get him some laps soon. I think he'll be doing pretty good before we know it.
So you guys do a pretty good job for who you're racing against in competition here. You got guys with big names. They bring a bunch of money over here. They got a lot of time invested in go-kart racing. You guys just come out here, have fun. You're racing as a job, and then you race when you get home. So that's got to be tiring on you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's nice to get away from the shop and come out here and have some fun with all the guys out here. So beat and bang a little bit and turn some laps.
So what is your best finish in DNQ competition? I don't think I've ever looked it up.
I think I finished second at AAR last year.
So when you guys go out there and you work on your setup stuff, are you constantly changing stuff to try to keep up with everybody, or you keep it the same?
We're pretty baseline. Our kind of crew chief Pickle's been helping us out with tire stuff, so we play a lot with that, but that's about it.
Well, you got the Wilcox-Teasley connection. These guys do a very good job for what they're doing, and Tyler Young taught them everything they know. So watch out for them.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, the DNQ karts have done all of their practice, and coming up next, it is a DNQ Pink Magic Tire Prep ARCA Series feature race.
That's the sound of refreshment. No question about it.
I got a question. There's only one Busch left. Who gets it?
Why don't you arm wrestle for it?
Just take it.
All right, Jay-Z, let's take a look at the ARCA starting lineup, and Ronnie Shirk on the pole, which is a surprise, with Robert Showalter on the outside.
Yeah, Shirk's been fast this season. He's been getting up there towards the front. We got Nick Stroop and Ronnie Carroll in the 26 in the second row.
Scotty Z and Eric Riggins in row 3.
Oh. The next row is Nigel Standish and another guy, and Mike Reamer, Josh Altice in the 94, who we heard from earlier.
A couple of DNQ ARCA veterans there, Jonathan Mabe and Justin Anderson.
Dylan Teasley and Thomas Markham in the 15.
Chris Coker and Eddie Miller. These guys are making their debut in the ARCA Series tonight.
And David Markham in the 10, who's been struggling lately, rounds out the field as we go on board with Nick Stroop with our 5-star tire specialties on board. Ronnie Shirk brings up our other 5-star tire specialties on board as well from the point.
McDouble, here is our series information. If you are at home wanting to come run this series, it is a series for amateur talent, and we are getting ready to go green and see how amateur they are in this high line as Ronnie Shirk takes the lead. He chose the bottom on this start, and whoa, it's a little sloppy bottom right there.
You know, we set the track up that way on purpose. Like 2 a.m. at your local bar, the bottom's sopping wet. You want to avoid it. You want to stay in that high line where the track's nice and groomed.
You see these guys getting down in the lower spot where Shirk was right there, gets in the wet stuff, slides them way up the racetrack as Riggins is making a move on Showalter for the lead as we've got a hornet's nest at the back of this field, but you cannot run the bottom, and we say it's high side for a reason. It's topside Tuesday as Riggins makes the pass on Showalter for the lead. We haven't seen him run here in a while, but you know, that's what this is, and on restarts, I would not be surprised to see somebody take the top as we're 3 wide going down the front stretch.
Well, that's the early evidence we're seeing right now. Even though the top line's the long way around, the karts seem to be running better up there. They're not pinching down. They're not sliding up, scrubbing speed. So the top line is going to be fast up against the fence.
You know, we do have a pretty decent-sized berm up there, so if somebody gets way up against the wall, they hit it and they don't knock the wall down. So that kind of helps them out quite a bit as we're watching a guy who knows all about running sprint cars in the berm, Eric Riggins, with Showalter breathing down his neck. And Showalter's done such a good job this year. When we went to his shop, he's got a dyno, he's got about 50 engines there, and he picks out the best parts and puts them in the engines, and he's got a very good program over there.
We talked about him last time out. He's doing this on his own, building his own notebook. He's not buying information from anybody. Every time we have a race that he's in it, we're always calling his name in the top 5. He's having an outstanding season so far.
Eric Riggins, a sprint car driver. Nick Stroop, he drives bigger dirt stuff as well, and you know, ARCA here, though, they're all peasants when they come down to run ARCA, and they know it. And that's part of the deal when you run in the ARCA series. As you see Dylan Teasley up there running that second groove, and it is coming in nicely. Usually it gets dusty. Not tonight. It's hauling ass up there.
Yeah, we're keeping the PCP off the streets for the kids. We're going to keep this as a family-friendly broadcast here. No drugs in our racetrack. As Markham going another lap down, looks like he's having a problem here. He's slow in the corners. He's slow in a straight line. Looks like they got to do some work back at the trailer later.
Yeah, the Lead 2 Reynolds Series champion from 2016 is really struggling, or 2015 is really struggling here this year all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on with this program, and it's probably because he's drinking in his garage and then working on it.
Yeah, your checklist gets really screwed up when that happens. You mentioned he's a Reynolds Series champion. He obviously has some latent abilities in his bones. He can be a good driver. It's just the program's not running right now.
Yep, and as this battle is continuing down the backstretch, that's going to hit some lap traffic as Justin Anderson and David's brother Thomas will be victims of going a lap down. But here's where it gets interesting, and lap traffic always plays a part here in these DNQ races.
You know, it reminds me of Bristol a couple weeks ago, Bob, where the leaders are fast against the top, but so are the back markers like David Reagan and that 77 car that buys a sponsorship or buys a spot every week. The leaders come through. They got to run the low line and try to get around them, and it creates a mess. So this is making some exciting racing here as Showalter is still on Riggins' ass.
Yeah, we are halfway through here, and he's just pacing him, just dogging him, hoping he makes a mistake, and then he'll blow right by him. But this is very fun to watch. All these drivers doing a very good job on the high side. Usually somebody flips when we run the high side, so it's good to see that tonight in HARTZ HVAC night, nobody has done that yet.
Yeah, no, Showalter on the inside of 3, trying to make a move, but Bobby gets down on that wet stuff, and he just cannot make the move.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy Burnett did such a good job prepping this track tonight. This is what the racing is when you prep the track exactly right, and we are having a great show right here.
You know, I say it every single time we have a race here at Millbridge in the DNQ series. Jeremy Burnett and his wife Ashley host one of the best tracks in the Southeast. As we're on board with Ronnie Shirk with a 5-star tire specialties camera, he's giving you a live look at how smooth that racetrack is and how good the racing is. Nick Stroop on board, he's trying to get a nose underneath, but again, the fast line's all the way up against the top, keeping those RPMs all wound up. It's hard to get past as we have a change for the lead here. Showalter on the inside of Riggins exiting 2.
They go door to door, nerf to nerf as they head down the backstretch. He got a run on him, and he tried to make the move, and not looking like he can complete it. It seems like he's a little bit faster in 1 and 2 than Riggins is right now, and I think it may be a matter of time before he passes him.
Yeah, Riggins is holding a pretty wheel, though. He's not giving him an inch, but he's still driving very clean, very fair. Off of 4, he's on the inside. Lap traffic. Here's a pick. Showalter to the front. Riggins to P2.
Little slide job there from Showalter, able to take the lead from Riggins, and he's going to encounter some lap traffic. So let's see if that holds him up as Riggins dives to the bottom of Showalter. He's not done.
This is a great fight at the front. Oh, in the left rear, Showalter. Riggins, Showalter, door to door. Showalter prevails. He's still P1. Riggins chasing him P2.
Yeah, we have that 5 to go caution, so don't forget about that. That is coming up here very soon. In one more lap, we are going to have that as we'll go on board with Nick Stroop and this 5-star tire specialties in-cart camera. He was working on Ronnie Shirk before, and he's having a good run here in his, I'm pretty sure it's his debut.
And you can see how that top line impacts the way you're running around the track. He tries to get inside of Markham. He had a hell of a lot more speed, but he still got held up underneath as we're at 5 to go. And HARTZ HVAC heating and cooling, a 5 to go caution.
5 to go caution's out. Contact HARTZ heating and cooling. It's going to get cold, and it has been hot. So make sure you get your stuff serviced. You do not want to have an AC unit blow out. Call them. They'll get the job done right. And speaking about getting it done right, we got 5 laps to go to get it done right. Showalter gets the jump on Riggins, and Ronnie Shirk may sneak his way into second.
Oh, Shirk. Oh, there's a big... Oh, someone's in the wall. Hits a ton. Hits a second time. There's a mess off of 2, Bob. 3, 4 carts involved.
Man, everybody got in that loose stuff down at the bottom, and they all slid up the racetrack. That put Nick Stroop up in the wall, and he was a victim from the start.
Yeah, Bob, I think we need to fill a spot for the official chiropractor of the DNQ series because I see 3 or 4 guys with an L2 vertebrae that needs a little bit of attention after that.
So let's go on board with Nick Stroop and see what happened here. Bottom groove just slid up. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, that line narrows up against the top. Everyone knows where the grip is, and Nick was just an innocent victim there, a poor bystander that ate shit, not of his own doing.
Yeah, it was a tough hit right there. Good thing these drivers have Hans devices. They don't wear seat belts, so I'm sure it helps somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, that way other parts of their body absorb the impact rather than their skulls. Another view here. Oof.
Yeah.
It's not spinning that hurts, Bob. It's the sudden stopping that seems to cause the pain.
It was almost a synchronized action watching Shirk and Carroll and Standish there. They all followed each other up, down into the loose stuff, and they all simultaneously came up, took Nick Stroop with them. Dylan Teasley part of that along with Riggins. Chris Coker goes for a spin as well, but man, that's a tough shot right there. We'll see if he can rebound from that. Couple laps to go here as Showalter leads his field. Shirk nasty up top, and Riggins in third. We'll see what happens here as we go green.
I'm impressed to see Showalter taking the bottom. I thought that history would have told him to take the top line, but he's free and clear in P1. Looks like Shirk and Riggins fighting out for second. Shirk P2. Riggins on the bottom, trying to hold off the Hornets' nest. Standish on the outside. He's in fourth spot.
Ronnie Shirk is a Daniel Hemrick of the ARCA series. He can run second, just having problems winning races. And you know what? He's self-admitted it. We've talked to him a couple times about it. His stuff is definitely good, and he's got John Kinder on top of that box as we go on board with him, and he's trying to run down Showalter.
Yeah. Kinder's won a whole shitload of races in the DNQ series. He knows what he's doing, so Shirk picked a good guy to work with and pick his brain. You know, he's running P2. Let's see if he can finish this out and run down Showalter and get a win.
Showalter comes down 3 and 4. He is going to see the white flag. One more lap to go in this ARCA feature. I don't think Shirk can catch him. He is going to have to hope that Showalter messes up, and that does not happen very often.
No, Showalter looks great. That rear end leading the go-kart. He's got good yaw all the way through the turn, but he's not sliding, scrubbing off speed. Showalter's your winner. Ronnie Shirk P2.
Let's go down to victory lane and talk to Robert Showalter.
ARCA Series win. The Pink Magic ARCA Series win.
Robert Showalter down here in victory lane in the Pink Magic ARCA Series feature race. Robert, you and Jesse Riggins raced the shit out of each other towards the end of that thing. How was it racing on this high line and trying to get a run on him at the end?
Yes, I love the high line. You can hold her up there and you can get a run, and if you can get through the shit down on the bottom when it's real sloppy and stuff, and kind of slide up in front of them. Yeah, it's fun. I love it, and we finally got the tires right from qualifying, and it was handling pretty good, and got us another win.
Robert Showalter, the winner tonight. We've got weather on the way, so we don't want to talk to people too long. So thanks, HARTZ HVAC, for their support of this race tonight. Second place tonight for Ronnie Shirk. Ronnie, you needed this in points. You get a trophy for second here because HARTZ HVAC put up some trophies here tonight. How was it out there running the high side?
It was good. The track was good. Jeremy did a good job prepping the track tonight. When I first came out for practice, I thought it was going to be slick like last year when we came out. Practice on the first couple of laps, I gassed a little bit. Once I got going, I was good. And then on starting on the bottom on the pole, kind of sucked because I got pushed and went up, and Showalter took off. And then 5 to go, got hit from the rear, pushed to 47 or whoever he was up in the wall. I don't know what happened. Good restart. Thank Kinder, Mayo, Caleb, Mike Rott for everything they've done on this kart. Yeah, that's all I got.
Ronnie Shirk second here tonight in the DNQ Pink Magic feature.
Seriously.
Eric Wiggins led a bunch of this race. Riggins. Sorry, I'm thinking of confittings. All right. Okay, you ready? Eric Riggins, not Wiggins, came home third tonight. You led a bunch of this race. Showalter got underneath you, and then towards the end you slipped back on these double file restarts. But how was it racing out there tonight?
Oh man, it's fun. I think we were a little too soft. It took off out of the gate too good, and but it's all for fun, and we're out here having a good time, and we'll try to win the next one. That's the one that really matters, so we'll try something different on that.
He's got a mini trophy for third place thanks to HARTZ HVAC, so he's going to take that home, and he's going to make some shit happen here in the Busch Series feature not too long from now. Well, it was a great ARCA Series feature, but coming up next is the Ghostface Heavy Cup Series.
Out here, a man isn't measured by where he started. Just where he finishes.
Jeremy Clements from Spartanburg, South Carolina, has found his way into the playoffs by winning at Road America.
Building champions one race at a time.
All right, Jay-Z in the front row. David Mayo got the pole, but our hottest driver in this series, Caleb Kennard's on the outside pole.
Row 2 of Ghostface Brewing Heavy, Ryan Richmond and CJ Winslow in the deuce.
Claude Ratliff back in the Heavy Cup Series. He will start 5th. Here's the information. 425 AKRANK engines, Maxxis, Pink and Blue, and Burris. And these guys are a little bit bigger, so you know, the driver size kind of plays a factor into it, as we have Ryan Richmond in the 5-star Tire Specialties onboard camera. Jay-Z, next year we are going to test and explore a treaded Hoosier tire for a clone and a Predator. So this it's going to be very interesting to see how that test goes here in the next coming days, as we are green with Mayo taking the lead, Clenard to second, Richmond in third, and CJ Winslow in fourth.
Yeah, you know, those treaded tires, especially the ones they're using on those the Outlaw carts, they don't take prep well. You can try to do what you want to them, but they just don't respond very well due to the rubber makeup. So it'd be very interesting to try that in this series, see how that treaded right front and right rear hook up, and see if maybe the unique approach to the class will draw some more head count for these clones and some of the Predator classes.
Yeah, it's been tough here in the Heavy Cup Series and the Cup Series as well. Just can't run a series with 5 carts. So go on board Ryan Richmond. He's watching the battle for the lead right now, and it seemed like Mayo had something for Clenard, but Clenard's right on his bumper, so we'll see if Clenard can do something here with David Mayo, and he has been almost unstoppable. He's won 4 races in a row here in the Heavy Cup Series competition, and these guys just get sick of finishing second to him. So Mayo's stepping it up here tonight. I know Jamie Knopf brought a set of tires for him, and they're showing to be pretty good.
Yeah, you know, Mayo's had some speed, but again, kind of like William Byron, qualifies up front, but just falls through the field as the race goes on. So he's got the potential there. We just got to see if he can fight off that the stud of the last 3 or 4 weeks, Caleb Clenard.
Clenard is doing such a good job in this series and the Cup Series as well. I mean, we're going down to the nitty-gritty here. We got 3 races left after this one tonight. And, well, actually, we only have 2. It'll be the fair, and then it'll be the final in October. And he's closing in on a Cup championship. Him and Tyson Friesman battling out in that series as well.
Yeah, good, steep competition all the way through the series. You start in ARCA, you get a feel for it, and you work your way back up, whether it be the Busch Series, Ghostface Brewing Heavy, our Dash Series. There's lots of options for you to compete and get seat time and get better, so you can be a David Mayo, you could be a Caleb Clenard, you could be a Timmy Nye, you could be a Jamie Knopf, you could be one of the guys dominating as our HARTZ HVAC Heating and Cooling 5 to go caution.
Give him a call if your stuff's acting up, and we're getting ready to have some guys acting up here as Ryan Richmond always goes to the top on these restarts. We'll see if he can get a good finish. Mayo taking his time. He's slowing him down before he gets in the box, and there it is, green flag in the air. Richmond with the jump. Can he make a move for the lead?
Richmond's hanging on for dear life. Can't make it stick. Mayo out front. Caleb Clenard punted back to 4th. Let's see if he can make his way through the field. He's down low. He shunts him out of the way. Caleb Clenard to P3.
Yeah, he got down in that sloppy bottom there, and it kind of messed him up a little bit. So now he's going to have to play catch-up and hope for a caution as he's trying to make the move on Richmond. Looks like he's going to get it done, but it is too little too late as Mayo has started to check out, and it would take a while for Clenard to get back up to Mayo.
Yeah, you know, those guys on the outside, they did what they had to do. But ultimately, didn't pay off. It was just enough to screw up Clenard's race. As we have 2 to go here, Mayo still 3 or 4 cart lengths out in front.
Mayo looking to snap that 4-race win streak of Clenard as he takes the white flag, and looks like he's going to do it as he heads into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Mayo finally putting it all together. That Pink Magic prep set of tires, doing what it needs to do tonight. He picks us for the win, hand in the air. He's a happy guy.
Let's go down to Victory Lane and talk to David Mayo. David Mayo down here in Ghostface Brewing, Heavy Cup Series Victory Lane, celebrating. Let Mayo take his helmet off real quick. Let me tell you what. It's the first time the Ghostface carts won this year in the Ghostface Series. As Mayo gets his stuff off. He did a great job. Mayo, how was that thing out here tonight in this high groove?
Man, it was excellent. Racetrack was in great shape. Holy shit, look at this trophy.
So how was it out there winning this HARTZ HVAC feature tonight?
Come again?
How was it out there racing?
It was wonderful. The track was smooth. It was the best I've ever seen it. I really like the high side. I wish we could run it more.
You have anybody to thank?
Jamie Knopf, Jeremy Morris, Caleb Merschberger, Ronnie Shirk, all my guys, Ghostface Brewery, Alex Cunningham, and Eric Voss and Rick Voss, and you. I appreciate everything you're doing, and I'll continue to support it.
David Mayo, winner tonight in the Ghostface Heavy Cup Series. Caleb Clenard finishes second. Caleb, looks like he had a really good cart. You could turn underneath him. Just got kind of mixed around there on the restart.
Yeah, on the restart, my clutch just didn't quite take off, but it was mainly because I just didn't have the tires was a little bit too soft, just didn't have the roll I needed to get up to speed right there.
What you got to do to win this cup race coming up?
I don't know. I think I got something in the bag for him.
Caleb Clenard, second here tonight in the Ghostface Heavy Cup Series race. Ryan Richmond comes home third. I thought you were going to come home second there. You had a good race going there, but how was it tonight, and how do you feel about your finish?
Yeah, it was better. It was better. We're getting better every week, in and out, more consistent runs. I still don't have anything for Mayo or Clenard. Those guys really are on top of their game right now. But we're making improvements every week, and that's all you can do, and go on to the next one. So,
Ryan Richmond, third here tonight. Close second, though. Almost got second. Always good to hear from our Heavy Cup Series competitors as another race is knocked down. But coming up next, it is the DNQ Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series feature.
Out here, a man isn't measured by where he started. Just where he finishes.
Up out of turn 4, takes the rumble win!
Champions one race at a time.
Let's take a look at the front row, and Nigel Standish and Daniel Armstrong will be on the front row, but they did not get the pole. Knopf got it, and he's going to start from the back.
Rob Bates and Rob Showalter make up the second row.
Nick Stroop and Eric Reagans ran well in the ARCA race. See what they can do here.
Adam Welch, a series regular, and Adam Wilcox is back in the 67.
Austin Jones and Mike Melton are in your next row.
Mike Contarino and Tim Contarino sharing the next row.
And from the back of the field, it'll be Jamie Knopf taking the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Back Row Challenge. $200 on the line tonight for that challenge. Let's take a look at the DNQ Busch Series rules. 390 stock Predator, 1756 gear at Millbury Speedway. Max is pink and blue, and you can run Burris as well. And this series is the same as ARCA, but it's a little different. These last race. So for this race, he has the DNQ stock house engine on that car, so there's no question if it's stock or not. So he's got that on there. That's the way we can do it next year. We'll probably have about 4 of them, so we'll tell people when they have to run.
And props to Eddie and series officials for giving that option so superstars like Jamie can come back and show people it's them with talent and not cheating that makes them fast. As we're green here, Standish on the inside trying to hang on, but he can't. He falls back to P2.
Standish is so consistent when he races, especially as a points racer. He's one of those guys that's hard to beat because he's always up front running in the top 5 no matter what. Is a little bit of a gaggle back here as Knopf is slowly dicing his way through this field.
Yeah, he's going to be in the front before long. He knows the tires. He knows this track. He's shown what he can do. Oh, as he turns around the yellow cart there, a couple carts go spinning. Someone eats the wall.
Yeah, caution is out. Tim Contarino's dragging his bumper as well down the backstretch. Rob Bates is destroyed. Let's see what happened here. Tim didn't know Jamie was there, I think.
Yeah, I think poor Timmy just turned down across his nose, not knowing he was there, and everyone else was running three wide behind him, and they just collected a few more go-karts.
Yeah, let's look at it again on Mike Contarino's Oh, he hit his dad pretty hard. And I think that was Scotty Z. Let's take a look at this again. Yeah, he just come down on him, and we hit Nerf bar to rear bumper, which is a hell of a shot. And then Scotty Z over here. That's not a safer barrier, ladies and gentlemen. That is a concrete barrier. Look at that hit Scott Z takes. Boom!
Boom! Woo. Again, that was an L4 vertebrae hit, Bob, if I had to guess myself. Again, official.
There's Rob
another
Bates hit
shot
up in
there.
the top
Bob
corner. We missed that
Showalter.
one. Oh, my goodness. He jumped the left rear, sent him right in the... There's a whole lot of stuff just happened there in a short amount of time.
Again, we're still looking for an official chiropractor of the DNQ karting series.
Yeah.
If you can fix these guys' spines after these hits, contact our people. We'll hook you up.
Or, maybe we need to start wearing seatbelts and Haas devices after watching these hits. As we're back under green, Daniel Armstrong leads this field, but there's that little orange cart back there making his way through here, and it's only a matter of time before he gets up towards the front.
Yeah, he's made his living on the sloppy bottom so far. As we're in a gaggle here. Oh, someone hops the left rear, gets up on the top.
Adam
They're
Welsh,
recovered, though.
Adam Welsh lost it. hit a back tire. That's what happened to him. He was running pretty well and got shot to the back, and that's what happened to him. And there's that gaggle of karts back there. I'll tell you what, there is racing all over this racetrack no matter what. Everybody's at a different skill level, but everybody's out here having fun. You know, if you're running mid-pack and you're 4 wide, it's still fun out here racing.
And that's what you want, is we're on board with Wilcox again. Shout out to Adam Welch. Shout out to Adam Welch for running the old school Digitron gauge. Hat tip to that guy for preparing us as a nice little intro to our throwback race, the next race at the fair. Digitron gauge is definitely welcome in the throwback races. We're side by side going on the backstretch. Going back to what you were saying, Bob, everyone's having a good time. I'm wondering if the Top Groove Prep should be a permanent fixture of the DNQ series at Millbridge.
I think we'll definitely see it more often next year than we did this year, and it just creates such good racing, and these guys can run side by side. I mean, these guys have been run side by side for the last 5 or 6 laps. In the normal track prep, you would not see that at all. So this is great track prep tonight by Jeremy, like we said before, but it really makes great racing as Jamie Knopf goes to the lead and makes the pass on Daniel Armstrong.
And let's comment on Daniel Armstrong. He's won a shit ton of money in the Southeast. He's no slouch. So for Jamie to start scratch and coming through the field, he's on a mission showing what he can do with his line of Pink Magic tire prep and his knowledge of a Phantom go-kart.
Yeah, Daniel Armstrong, very good. And that is Ronnie Carroll's go-kart. So they've worked a deal out where he drives Ronnie's cart for him. And it's a win-win for Ronnie because you have a really good guy driving your stuff and he gives you input on tires and what your chassis setup is. So that's it's not his own, but you know what? It's actually working out pretty well for these guys.
Heck yeah, you want to spread that knowledge, you want to spread that wealth, and help people get better around you. So it's good to be sharing rides and sharing that information. It just makes everyone better.
Knopf has already set up a pretty big gap. Let's go ahead and crank it up for those at home. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to somebody mow their lawn as we were watching the rest of the field head down the racetrack. A lot of racing going on in all different spots, lots of side-by-side racing. It's like we've mentioned it many times, a great night to watch racing. And there's Jamie Knopf, and there's Daniel Armstrong, your second-place driver. And Jamie is really putting on a clinic here tonight.
Yeah, he's putting bus lengths on the field, just driving out of their life. As we're back on board here with the 5-star tire specialties on board with Adam Welch. He's got some clear track in front of him right now. He can focus on his line and make sure he hits his marks. Maybe he can gain another position or two before the feature's over. The current top 5, Knopf, Armstrong, Showalter, Nigel Stanish, and Mike Melton in 5th place.
We'll go side by side so you don't miss a thing.
Out here, a man isn't measured by where he started. Just where he finishes.
Kyle wins in Stafford! Big shout out to the rest of my family and all my DNQ buddies. They teach me a lot about roughing people up, so it helped today.
Building champions one race at a time.
I'm going to open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Busch.
Definitely the one that went Busch. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Busch.
Right.
Busch.
Welcome back to HARTZ HVAC Night, live from the Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina. We are closing in on the 5-to-go caution in tonight's Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series feature race as Jamie Knopf leads this field and is a 30-lap feature, and we are getting close to it. There it is, JZ, the HARTZ HVAC heating and cooling 5-to-go caution for this feature tonight. And I don't know, well, what is Kyle McGowan doing? He's having some cake on the flag stand under caution.
Good for him. He seems like a white cake kind of guy. Probably, a heavy cream frosting on there that kind of crunches in your teeth. Good for him. Flagging races and eating cake.
Well, the only crunching in there is going to be the dirt from the racetrack. So we go green here. Showalter tries to make a move on Knopf. It's going to be tough to make it as Daniel Armstrong gets a run up top. Let's see if he can make it work.
I don't know, forcing Jamie into the sloppy bottom might be an advantage, but he cannot hold him back. Knopf P1, Armstrong P2. Big-ass race for third spot.
Yeah, as we go on board with Adam Welsh, and he is not afraid to put the bumper to anybody for any reason. And he loves that higher side here. And you know what? We got plenty of room in the gear to do it as he makes a move on Standish here. And, man, I'll tell you what, this is so much fun to watch these guys run this high line here. Standish doing the crossover.
Yeah, Standish is fading late here. I don't know if the heat cycles just weren't friendly to the prep he's using on those tires. I'm not sure, but I was hoping he'd have a better night tonight than he's having. Still respectable, though, in P5.
Gaggle of karts out there, but Knopf is going to take the white flag, and I don't think anybody's got anything for him tonight. And he does not have to worry about failing LIS because he has got the house kart. He's going to come off at turn 4. The house engine is going to take the victory. Jamie Knopf, your winner tonight, the Busch Series feature. Let's go down and talk to him.
Jamie Knopf down here in Victory Lane. We had a little bit of a weather scare, so we wanted to knock all the features out first, so it's not as extravagant, but there's still beer cans. It smells like beer everywhere around here. But so backstory on this. Last week we had a tech failure. This week you take Mike Robinson's, the tech guy's engine that we know is stock, and absolutely beat everybody into the ground with that thing tonight. And how was that start from the back, taking home that extra money?
It's pretty fun, especially with the high side because it's slick on the bottom, and then you got multiple grooves. If you're soft enough, you can get down there and run a little lower. And yeah, I failed laser inspection last week, so the guys had it almost as close this week, but not quite as close. So we did good. I brought 2 sets of tires here. Mayo ran 1 set, and I ran 1 set, and we both won. So if anybody needs any tires, I'll bring them to you on wheels. $200, or if you want to mount them when you get here, $100, and they pretty much guaranteed to win or be fast.
We definitely saw that with David Mayo in the Heavy Cup Series. I mean, he has been faster than he's ever been here racing at Millbrook Speedway, and that's definitely good for you and your program. So we've seen you and Daniel Armstrong come down to this series and race, and you guys are big names in the Southeast. So what is it about coming down to DNQ and racing with everybody here on a Tuesday night?
I mean, can't really do much else on a Tuesday, especially can't have no more fun. And this was one of the best tracks in the country. I mean, we've raced as far as West Kansas, and there's some great tracks out there, but this one here is one of the best. And like I said, especially with the high groove and being slick on the bottom. And Armstrong said I had to take a week off because he's trying to get in that All-Star race next year. He's trying to get him a win. So I told him he was going to work for it.
Jamie Knopf has won the All-Star race twice. He's won this race tonight. He's won the Back of the Pack Challenge, and he's going to take up an extra $200. Adam Wilcox finishes third here tonight in the DNQ Busch Series, Carroll Tractor Trailer Busch Series race. Let me tell you, we talked to you before this race, but we didn't know how good it was going to be tonight. I mean, what was different?
I mean, I've always liked running the high groove out here, but if it wasn't for that 5-to-go caution, I don't think I would have had the top 3. We were back in the pack trying to struggle to pass people, and if I had a good restart in that 5-to-go caution, and it made the world a difference.
You're still getting your program better. We saw Dylan Teasley run halfway decent out there in the ARCA race, so we knew your stuff was going to be good. What is it like coming out here and running the high side? Does it take a different discipline, or what does it take to run this high side?
I won't say a different discipline, but it's definitely fun. I have a lot of fun running the high side. I like running the high side when it's the normal groove out here, so I guess I'm used to it, so maybe not so much for me, but than other people.
Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank my cousin Damien, my uncle Larry, and Pickle for all the help in the pits.
Wilcox takes home a third-place finish here tonight in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair HARTZ HVAC Series feature event tonight.
Always good to see a driver get his first top 3 finish, and that's what happened to Adam Wilcox. Great finish in this Carroll Tractor Trailer Busch Series feature race. Coming up next is the HARTZ HVAC Cup Series feature.
That's a sound of refreshment. No question about it.
I got a question. Does camouflage actually work?
Let's see.
Wow. Huh. Did not see that coming.
Kind of the point.
All right, let's take a look at the HARTZ HVAC starting lineup. Tyson Freeze and Caleb Cunard, your 2 championship competitors, are on the pole.
Jason Denny and Eli Ware in the 00.
Chris Puskas and David Crops in your next row.
Rounding out the field is Eddie Miller in the 60. Good to have him here tonight, popping his cherry in the DNQ series.
HARTZ HVAC Cup Series, AKR NKA clones, 390, Maxxis pink and blue. You can also run the Burris tire. There we go. We're getting ready to go green. This series has come down to Tyson Freeze, Caleb Clenard. We've got last year's champion, though, an all-time wins leader from last season, Jason Denny, in this field tonight because it's a HARTZ race. So we'll see if he can come back and take a win as we go green. Did Clenard get his stuff any better? Can anybody hold off Jason Denny? Tyson Freeze takes the lead as the field heads down the back.
Yeah, I don't know if Clenard was off or if Mayo was just that good in the earlier race. As he ducks to the inside, he squeezes through. He's P3. He's focused coming off a 2. We'll see what he can do about it.
Now, JZ, a question for you. If you see a guy like Mayo do so well in the Heavy Cup Series race, why would you not take those tires and run the Cup Series race with him?
Maybe you don't have the testicular fortitude or physical athletic ability to do another 25 laps. But if those tires, if I had the option to run those tires again, you bet your ass I'd be doing it.
He may still be celebrating his last win, though. I mean, he may have just said, you know what, I'm going to have pound about 7 beers. I'm just going to hang out, which is fully acceptable.
That is a strong possibility, Bob. The way these guys stone cold Steve Austin those beers in Victory Lane, I wouldn't be surprised if he's puking in his trailer already.
Yeah, that is very possible. As we're watching, whoa, Denny sideways up the racetrack. You know what? That's definitely a Cup Series move because if you get sideways, look at this again, the side by side. 4-wheel drift right there. Surprised he didn't wreck.
Yeah, he's just on the limit of what the tires got for him tonight. Maybe a little bit too much left side weight in there for the track conditions and the way the high side's prepped. Maybe he just got a little bit too low. There's still a little bit of sloppy bottom there coming off a 2, and he just caught it with the left front the wrong way. Who knows? But the 0-0 there of Eli Ware with that long, slick back hair, he's hanging in there. He's doing pretty good against the likes of a Caleb Clenard, who's out front, and a Tyson Freeze, who's kicking ass, P1 right now.
Yeah, this seems like this track gets pretty loose off of 2 with the way we've got the track prepped here tonight as well. But Jason Denny, he hasn't raced in a while, and you know what? The one thing I've definitely learned from go-kart race, Eddie Miller hits that same patch about Rex. The one thing I've learned about watching guys at go-kart race, it is so much like any other form of races. McGowan gives them the old X. You got to be in the seat every week to race against these guys.
Absolutely. Even though the track, they race the same track for the most part for the DNQ series, the conditions are different. You have to continually work in that notebook, continually, just be in the seat and get that feedback through your ass so you know what you're doing and prepare for it. So Denny doing what he's doing tonight without the seat time, still impressive.
Tyson Freeze doing a very good job here tonight, leading by quite a bit over Caleb Clenard and Jason Denny, but we're going to have that 5 to go caution here very soon. They're going to bunch him back up. Does he take the top or does he stay on the bottom here for the
conventional wisdom says you take the top because that seems to be where all the grip is, but everyone's been taking the bottom so far and having great success with it. So, what the fuck do we know? We just sit here and talk about go-karts on the TV.
As a racer, you can't give up that bottom, though, on a restart. There is our caution. It is out as the HARTZ HVAC Heating and Cooling 5 to go caution. Give HARTZ HVAC a call. Please do some preventative maintenance on your HVAC system. You need to do it. Trust me, you cannot afford not to do it. As we are going green, 5 laps to go. Can Tyson Freeze take this thing to the house?
He's been in a different zip code all night, Bob. He's just been putting a can of whoop ass on everybody. Clenard's doing his darndest. He's still within a cart length, but again, Freeze can turn down a little bit off the corner where everyone else is still fighting that right front and walking out towards the wall. So I think Freeze has got this one in the bag.
He can exit a lot lower than anybody else too, and only a few laps left. Tyson Freeze here in the points though. Next race at the fair is double points. Kyle McGowan gives him the old 2 to go. For Tyson Freeze, it's double points at the fair, so anything can happen to this championship chase between these two guys, and that's going to be a big deciding factor. What happens at that fair is a white flag is out.
Let's watch that battle for a second, Bob. Denny's getting there. Going into 3, he might have a shot if Clenard messes up. And I know Denny was not afraid to put the bumper to anybody, so coming off of 3 and 4, Freeze has got this one locked up. Clenard P2, Denny P3.
Go down and talk to tonight's winner, Tyson Freeze.
Tyson Freeze down here in a HARTZ HVAC victory lane. All right. Shit all over me here. All right, Tyson. Let's talk about this race here tonight. You and Caleb Clenard. We thought Caleb was unstoppable lately, and you proved that to be wrong in this Cup race tonight. Seems like you had this one pretty much dominated.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Caught Chris. I think it was Thursday last week, and I called her from a transponder. But me and Chris talked it over and see what we were going to do, and I started working on tires immediately, and it was good, man. I mean, we just unloaded fast and never slowed down. I think it was Chris had the man on a mission shirt, had the 3 on the fairing there. I think that's what overcame everybody else.
So in this Cup Series, you're leading points. You had a 35-point lead by getting out here, but now you're probably about 55, 60 points going into a double points night. What do you got to do to win this championship besides run good at the fair?
Well, definitely need to run good at the fair. Not sure Chris can go near a Ferris wheel yet, but we're trying to get that all worked out. I know when Tim and I used to race with us, he had to be out of there. He couldn't go near the Ferris wheel, or he had to put a sign in his yard. But we're working on that, and we think we're gonna be good at the fair. We got a great chassis. The guys at Phantom hook us up, and Todd Miller putting the power plant on it. Chris, crew chief, and making the calls, and hopefully with me driving, we'll see if we can reinforce the front end for the fair. I know it's gonna be a bull ring. It'll be a blast. I expect Clinton's gonna be good. He's gonna be coming for us, but I'm excited, and I just hope the old boy's hair don't get wrapped up in his chain.
Tyson Freeze, talk a little shit here. I love this right now. Cup Series points leader. All right, we'll go down here and do this. Caleb Clenard finishes second again here tonight. Caleb, you were pretty much unstoppable in clone competition. We were talking about putting big girl panties on after last week, so it looks like they all did, and they came out and raced tonight. But you had a good night, just a little off, it seemed like.
Yeah, the tire game was a little bit off. Tyson did put his big girl panties on, and he came out here and put it to us. But, just one of them deals. I didn't quite have the roll speed that I've had the past couple times up here. With the American Dream coming up this Saturday, been kind of focusing on that a little bit more than this. But, the Mystery Motorsports, Ultramax Racing chassis, fast-forward clutches, nitro gears, just, can't thank them all enough. And, sucks to, lose a little bit of points, but the fair's double points, so we'll go try to get it there.
Caleb Clenard, second here tonight. It's going to be an interesting race here at the fair, I'm telling you. Jason Denny comes home third here tonight in the HARTZ HVAC feature race. Jason, that HARTZ HVAC sponsorship is very close to you. Obviously, you have family ties to that, but a good finish nonetheless to come home top 3.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We'll take it for just putting the go-kart together yesterday. We just put the cart together last night. Didn't even scale it, just threw some weight on it randomly. Made sure we weighed 390. Got some tires from the Big O last week, re-rolled them, didn't really touch them. Went out with brand new tires, tried to scuff them out here, didn't really work. Hit an oil slick over there, but I ended up ate the wall. About 10th and a half faster than them. If I really wanted to win this, I could have done that a week ago. Get some tires ready. I didn't know it till last night, so I could have won if I really wanted to. So, ain't really nothing to shout about. So, I know in my mind I could have won. Damn, we got 54, don't know how to drive. God, he let him get away, turned down on everybody going down the front stretch on 5 to go. And he could have just followed in line, and we could have went off. Hell, he's 10th and a half faster the last 5 laps in the top 2, so.
Always got the competitive spirit, Jason Denny. Are you coming to the fair?
When is the fair?
Labor Day.
You got a date?
It's a Monday.
September. I come back September 1st from Florida, so.
Numbers confuse both of us, but he may be at the fair. We're not sure yet, so good job by Jason Denny tonight. Well, the HARTZ HVAC Cup Series feature's over. Coming up, our final feature of the night, the 5-Star Tire Specialties Goodies Dash Series. Yeah, the coffee car is like it's 11:09 in the afternoon.
Right.
This guy's just waking up. Where's his life at? The Busch guy is like every guy you want to be.
Yeah,
it's 11:09
he's so
in the
good.
afternoon. He's just waking up. His buddies are feeding him beer. This is like hanging out with Buzzkirk.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This is Brad when he's single. Oh,
Yeah,
hey, bud. Yeah, have a beer. Brad, I just spent all night throwing up. We'll have another beer.
Pussy.
It's fine. Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at the 5-star Tire Specialty starting lineup. Adam Welsh on the pole with Joey Gase on the outside.
Second row, Mike Contarino, and the 46 of Mike Melton.
Ronnie Shirk and Chris Coker in our next row.
The next row of the 5-star Tire Specialties Dash Series is the regular Jonathan Mabe and David Markham in the 10, out for more punishment.
Here's the series info. Now this series it's the same rules as anything else, except they run the 4.5-inch tires, which is on the left front of every go-kart out there, all the way around these karts. So we have wheel offsets, and you have to be a minimum of 6 PSI in the tires. Jonathan Mabe has an issue. He is going to pull off the racetrack, but 6 pounds of air pressure, really small tires, so you have no stagger. These karts are just as fast as the other ones, except the handling is completely different.
Yeah, and it's surprising. They have the same restricted horsepower as we're showing the 5-star Tire Specialty on board of Ronnie Shirk here, who had a good run P2 earlier tonight in the Busch Series. With the limited horsepower on tap for the Predators, running a smaller tire is less rotating weight, a smaller contact patch for scrub, so they go just as fast if you let them rip. So it's a good series to watch as we're on board with Mike Contarino as well, starting the inside of the second row.
Yeah, it's wild because when we first came out with this series, we're like, okay, they're going to be sliding around a little bit, blah, blah, and they're like, okay, this thing is really tight, but we love it because we got to run higher air than 6 pounds to even get this thing to turn. So these guys that run this series absolutely love it, and that's what we want. We want series where people are going to have fun and race, and if you're at home, you're interested, this series will run full-time in 2020 as the green flag is out. We are underway for the Goodies Dash Series race. So if you want to run this full-time next year, that will be available to you.
We're on a tear here. The whole field's still bunched together. Ronnie Shirk trying to make some hay on the high side. He thinks better of it, checks up, but still gets underneath. He gains a position coming off a 4.
Now, I've heard a bunch of guys say you got to run 15 pounds in the right rear. Some guys are at minimum. These guys are all over the board here. It seems like with even stagger, though, you'd want to have something that's got to make it turn, and Contarino stuff looks pretty hooked up.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He struggled earlier tonight, but he's got the smaller tire package figured out. He's doing pretty good.
I've seen people that I've talked to guys that they go, you know what, my kart's terrible when I go run Busch, when I go run ARCA, and then I put the small tires on for the Dash Series race, and it hauls ass, and I have no idea why. So I always find that pretty funny when it's something you change like that, and they're actually faster than what they were.
Yeah, again, it's just with that smaller contact patch, the tire's working harder. It's generating more heat, so you're still getting grip. You don't need that 10-inch wide tire on the right side to make grip. Again, that whole 10-inch wide tire came about from stretching the standard tires they used to try to run back in the day to keep the tire cool so it would grip. They could prep the shit out of it without it melting down by keeping it cool. So the tire manufacturers just started making 10-inch wide tires, and it works. So this is actually very old school, very throwback form of racing here tonight as we're on board with Ronnie Shirk.
Ronnie Shirk running a lot of races for somebody who fell out of the seat last week. He said he's been working out, losing weight, so that's good for him. As we're watching Joey Gase lead this field, and Joey Gase has run a couple DNQ races before, but he is doing a great job here tonight in this Dash Series, and the top 3 seem like they've got their stuff pretty well figured out, and the rest of the guys are absolute junk.
Yeah, Joey, he knows where he can sharpen his sword, where he can hone his skills and really work on what makes him fast. I know he runs some other series somewhere, but he always comes back to DNQ to make sure he knows what he's doing and staying on top of his game.
Yeah, this is definitely more elite than anything else that he races in, so got to give him credit to that for coming up here and challenging himself to run with the likes of Adam Welsh and Mike Contarino, who is currently beating their asses here in the Dash Series race.
He just pulled it out, laid it on the table, and he's making them stare at that big vein across the top of it. You know what I mean? He's just like, check this out, boys. You can't measure up to me.
Yeah, come catch me if you can, but you're not gonna. He's got a hellacious lead here as these guys are just breathing down his neck. But we got lap traffic coming up with Mike Melton and David Markham. So we'll see if that plays a role into it. And we also have that 5 to go caution. So anything can happen here in the DNQ series. I've definitely seen it before. And we've seen some guys get their first wins that we never thought would win. And you know what? That's what the beauty is of DNQ.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that's crossing my mind, Bob, is how much do these guys wholesale their go-karts to set up for the Dash Series? Because without that stagger of that big 10-inch tire in the right front, their cross percentages are all off. They're crazy. So does someone like a Contarino, who might struggle in the Busch Series, the ARCA Series, sell out and change the percentages so his kart's a good fit for the Dash Series as we're at the HARTZ 5 to go caution?
Yeah, I know Joey Gase is only running Dash tonight, so I think that is probably part of the reason why he is doing so well. There we go, 5 to go. Can Gase close the deal here and get his first DNQ win? Green flag is out.
He's keeping it low on the start, not making sure no one gets underneath him. Again, a couple people sliding up, almost taking down that barrier on the right-hand side of the track. Gase, 4 or 5 kart lengths out in front. He's doing really well as a battle for P2. Contarino in the back. He's stuck in P3, but he's trying to get to second place.
Yeah, these two are battling for the championship, which will be determined at the Iredell County Fairgrounds. Welsh and Contarino very close in the points right now, so it is very interesting to watch these two race each other extremely hard. They work with each other every day, too, so you know there's going to be a lot of shit talking at the shop tomorrow.
Yeah, this is really a point of pride for a lot of guys, because with these small tires, driving and setup knowledge is key. And Gase is just putting a beat down on these people as he comes off a 4.
White flag in the air for Joey Gase as he heads down the backstretch off of turn number 2. He is going to come off of 3 and 4. Joey Gase is going to take home his first DNQ Series victory in the 5-Star Tire Specialties Goodies Dash Series. Let's go down to Victory Lane and have a talk to him.
Joey Gase down here in 5-Star Tire Specialties Goodies Dash Series Victory Lane. If he can ever get out of this thing. Man. You ever been covered in that much beer before?
I have not.
That's a first. So let's talk about this Dash Series. It's something different that we started doing, and a lot of guys really enjoyed it, and it seems like it worked out well for you tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's the first time I ran it. I just come out here whenever I can to try to do a little stress relief, have a little fun, and it was definitely a lot of fun tonight. I wanted to run this series just because I was hoping it was going to be a wreck fest like normally the other ones are, but it's a lot of fun. I just really got to thank my wife, Caitlin, for letting me do this. Trent from Franklin Signs for letting me use this cart. Alex Cunningham for helping me with my tires and all that. So it was a lot of fun, and hopefully I can do it some more. You got to run this Dash Series some more.
So talk about the high side. Now, we're running it again at the fair if you're able to do that. But talk about the high side here racing. Was it any different than a normal night?
It definitely, actually, the last time I ran here this year, I think was high side night. So I don't really know a whole lot different. But everyone thinks you have to be up high, where I was actually run the bottom. You know, I think from all the other races, they didn't re-wet it again. Where it was wet, you actually had a little bit of grip, and you had some room to mess up. Where if you run the high line, kind of like Darlington next week, if you're up against the wall, you slip up at all, you're in it. So I really enjoyed it, and thanks for our Showalter shop guys over there for not wrecking me. But it was a lot of fun. So I just got to thank DB Sales, the Racing Warehouse, and the Podium Finish, and Eternal Fan, and a whole bunch of other people.
Joey Gase takes home his first DNQ career win here tonight at the High Side HARTZ HVAC Cup Series feature. Adam Welsh and Mike Contarino had a funny moment down here. They were throwing each other around. You guys beating the crap out of each other out there on the racetrack. How was it tonight?
The Dash Series is a blast. So Mike, he may have stole one from me a couple weeks ago. So I gave him a little bit of taste of what's going to happen on the season final there at Iredell County. He still has a lot coming to him. I hope he hears me right now. But, man, it's going to be good at the fair, I think.
Double points at the fair now. This is going to be tight between you two. You going to do whatever you got to win that championship?
No, I'm not going to do whatever I got to. I'm just going to fuck him up. That's all it's going to come down to. No, I'm just kidding. I have to work with him on Monday, so that would suck. But no, we're going to race hard, I can promise you that. And I don't know where we sit in points or anything like that, so we're just here for fun. I mean, this is a really fun class, and I really wish more people would come out for it. I mean, it's a blast. I mean, you just running on roller skate tires and have fun.
Adam Wells, second place here tonight in the HARTZ HVAC feature. All right. Mike Contarino grabbed Adam Welsh, gave him a bear hug, flung him around like a fish. And but you come home third. You two duke it out. It seems like every time we run this Dash Series. And how was it there from the driver's seat?
It was good. Car was fine despite the damage of the Busch Series wreck that I had, but it's always fun racing this series. I like it. Need to keep it going. Adam's hard, and we joke around, beat each other up, but we're going to keep doing it all the way to the fair.
Now, double points night at the fair. We've never run this package at the fair ever. So what do you think you got to do to get that thing to turn at the fair?
I never been there, so I'm just going to go pee the hell out of it and harpoon Adam.
Well, Mike Connerino's going to finish second in the points this year in the Dash Series. I'm calling it now. You've never been there. You don't know what to expect.
Well, let's take a look at our final results tonight. Robert Showalter takes home the win. Ronnie Shirk with a solid second-place finish.
Yeah, Riggins fell back to third after dominating early. Carroll, Standish, Altice, who we heard from earlier, Rimmer, Teasley, who was caught up in that wreck off of 2 there, Shrewsbury, and Stroop round out the top 10.
Stroop going to have to see that chiropractor that we're trying to get sponsorship for next week. No doubt. Well, HARTZ HVAC night, Ghostface Brewing Heavy Cup Series. David Mayo snaps Caleb Kennard's 4-win streak.
Yeah, and Richmond had balls of steel trying to take that 5 to go restart on the high side, but Mayo was the king of the castle this week and took it P1, took home the win.
Let's take a look at the DNQ Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series final results. Jamie Knopf waxes everybody's rear end with that house engine. He made it happen, and Daniel Armstrong, it's only a matter of time before they get their stuff better and give this guy a shot.
Yeah, and honorable mention to Mike Melton in P4. He ran a lot of classes tonight. He's always pretty good. Showalter, Standish, Welch, who we saw a lot of onboard from. Riggins again, Bates, and I'm going to give this a shot. Zurowski.
That's probably right.
Rounding out the
You're
top
probably
10.
right. Mike Melton has Patrick Donahue helping him out, and he really helps Mike out quite a bit. So shout out to Patrick Donahue. He does a great job in not only Xfinity stuff, crew chiefing, but down here in the DNQ Series as well. Cup Series, HARTZ HVAC, our banner race tonight. Tyson Freeze takes it to him, and it wasn't even close.
No, unfortunately for HARTZ HVAC Heating and Cooling, Freeze stunk up the show. He definitely had the right tires on tonight. That go-kart was on rails. He didn't put a tire wrong all night. Clenard did what he could, had a late challenge from Denny, Eli Ware, Puskas, Miller, and Crops rounding out the field.
I want to give a thanks to HARTZ HVAC. They got top 3 trophies for everybody who finished top 3 tonight, and all the top 3 in this race got them, as well as Gase, Contarino, Shirk, Markham, Coker, Melton, and Welsh failed surge on his engine. So that is going to hurt him in the points going into the fair. That pretty much makes it a must-win situation at the fair, and he needs to have some mega help to take home the championship when we go to the fair race in September.
Yeah, but Bob, what about Chase Elliott? What are the series impact for this DNQ to Chase Elliott? We haven't talked about him all night.
It's true.
This is key for him.
Very good for Chase Elliott that just happened. I really think Napa, Chevy, Nationwide, Exalta, William Byron, Jimmy Johnson, Ally Bank. Jimmy's going to make the chase. It's just you can't keep a good driver down. We've got a test coming up in September, but our next race is the fair. And you know what? I got to love it. Either there's a fist fight, there's a flip, somebody's mad at somebody by the time we leave there. There's funnel cake, a great crowd, and it is such a great racetrack. It just really breeds great racing.
Yeah, and it's throwback night, Bob. Throwback to the times of cheap drugs, safe sex. I can't wait to see all the paint schemes and liveries these guys come out with. They get crazier and crazier every year. And I think we're probably going to have a vote to see who wins some type of prize for the best throwback paint scheme. So do your best work, gentlemen and ladies. We want to see them.
$100 to the winner of that best throwback scheme. Well, for Jay-Z, I'm Bob Duato. Jay-Z, thank you again from joining us from upstate New York. We want to thank you for all that you do and being part of this series. And we're winding down the end of this season. We're going to go to the fair, and we're going to make it happen. And we got one more race after that, so major chase implications. Well, for Jay-Z, I'm Bob Duato. We'll see you guys at the fair.